What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Another video for you tonight. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section, Twitter. Shutdown Safety is my username. Once again, pleased to be joined by Danny Dugan for the third time now, talking about his product, Access Football. Big announcement here, exclusive to the channel. They are releasing Access Football right now, available on your Android and iOS device for your mobile phones, your tablets. Before we get into that, though, Danny, if you could get people caught up on Access 3.0, that was the final update for the game this year. You had a lot of mods that came in, some in-depth prop routing, even some new uniforms, and then obviously we can kind of expound upon the mobile side of things.
So yeah, if you haven't been following the game really closely on Steam, you might have missed our latest 3.0 update. So this is going to be our last update, and it came out a few weeks ago. But I can run through some of the highlighted features real quick. We added player height and weight mods in addition to all of the other stats that you currently have the ability to modify. We also, in the mod department, added full announcer and quarterback audible audio mods. So you can completely change out the entire announcer, all of the sounds the quarterback makes, from the hike to all of the call outs that he makes for audibles. Those are all completely moddable now. The other main feature that we added in the 3.0 update was hot routes. So you could always audible, and what you can do now is there's going to be an additional button at the bottom of the screen when you're on offense to select hot routes for any of the receivers. So not only can you change the route of a particular receiver, but you can also tell certain receivers to block instead. So if you're in a split back formation or a shotgun formation and it's a passing play and the running backs are supposed to go out and run a pass or run a route, you can instead, based off of what the defense looks like, you can instead tell them to block. And you can do the same thing with the tight end as well. So the tight end's going out to run a route, you can tell them to block, and vice versa. If they're in, a three-man front and you've got a tight end currently blocking and you say to yourself, I don't need that tight end blocking, you can have them go out and run a hot route instead. The other cool thing about hot routes is they are completely moddable. So you'll be able to go in and not only edit what the hot routes are, but edit where they run. And I put out a video that explains exactly how that's done. A couple last features that we did. Ace Bailey did an awesome job of designing brand new uniforms for all of the team, both away and home uniforms. So if you pick up the game or you download the update, you'll notice that all the teams have completely custom uniforms. We're not just swapping colors out anymore. We've got logos on the side of the helmets. We've got stripe designs on the pants and all that sort of thing. So they look really awesome, and there's really a visual distinction between all of the teams now, which is really cool. Last little feature that we have in the 3.0 update, and I'm hitting kind of the big ones. There's some other little ones that I'm not going to bother mentioning. But you can now shift your players on defense. So defensive line up front, linebackers, defensive backs, you can shift them forward and back, left and right. Trying to add a little bit of depth to the gameplay so it's not just moving players around. And again, we plan to add these sort of incremental changes each year, but this is the final update that we're going to do for the 2015 version. So if you've been waiting to pick up the game until it has some additional features, now is the time to do it. Now is the time where you're going to get your money's worth. And I certainly appreciate all of the support that players have given the game.
Okay, so obviously for you PC guys, there's a lot of new things there for you to dig into. Now, obviously, the part of this video that most people will be intrigued by is the fact that, as we discussed originally, iPad, Android, iOS. Let's talk about what your plan is with that. Obviously, as we discussed in the prior video, there is going to be, a pay system for this, although the download is free. Can you talk about kind of what your business model is for this and what people can expect right now from it and going forward?
So, yes, some of you might have noticed that Access Football is available on your Android or iOS devices, both in the Google Play Store and on the App Store. Access Football is free to download. So I want to talk briefly about the business model that we have set up for it. It's free to download, and in the free download, you get a quick match, which is like a single match play, and also gives you the ability to run it in coach mode as well. Season mode is locked, so if you want to play season mode, there's a microtransaction associated with that. The microtransaction will also get rid of in-game ads. So if you want to unlock the full version, it's a small few dollar microtransaction that you can go with. And I want to be really upfront with people about the current state of the mobile build. If you go right now and download it, the current version that's up there is not very stable. So if your phone or your tablet is over a year old, it's probably not going to run very well, and most likely it's going to crash. Now, we have fixed those issues, and we have pushed those new builds to Google and to Apple, and they are currently under review. The review process for apps has a little bit of a delay. It's not like Steam where I can just say, upload and run the new version now. So we have uploaded those new ones. We are waiting for those to go live, but I want to be clear with people that the current version that's out there isn't awesome. The new one that is coming will be much better. But either way, I encourage you to check it out under the assumption, or with the knowledge that it's going to get a lot better. But the game itself will play relatively similar to how the PC version plays. The passing is really cool. You touch on the screen where you want to throw the ball. Use your little joystick down on the bottom where you can control your player. And the cool thing about it is, if the controls frustrate you, just run it in coach mode. You can do everything you can, calling your plays, doing all that kind of cool stuff.
All right, so with that said, you've shown a lot this year. You've got 3 large title updates, all of which I do want to point out had new features and options requested by the community, kind of as you alluded to. Now we've got this on a mobile app. What can you tell me about what we can expect from Access Football going into next year, and also about the Kickstarter you had talked about in the last video?
So as far as the future of Access Football and what we're looking at in the next coming months, and certainly the next year, we mentioned before that we're going to do a Kickstarter. That's something that we still plan on doing. Keep an eye out for that. At the beginning of November is when we plan on releasing that. We're going to have several pledge levels. We're going to be giving away, hopefully, some things that really exciting for you guys. Also during the Kickstarter, we'll certainly go over all of the features that we plan to add in the 2016 version. The main ones, without getting into everything, the main ones that we're adding are going to be the franchise mode, which is going to add a ton of depth, including drafts and roster management and all that sort of stuff. And the other thing we want to really improve is the animations, the interaction between linemen, just basic player movement. We want to make it look more immersive, more sim-like. And all that stuff costs money. And right now our budget has been really small in the past, and we were able to reinvest a lot of what we earned through the Steam sales back into the game, which is what we said we were going to do. And so hopefully we've built a little bit of credibility with the player base. When we first released it on Steam, our approach was, give us a chance, support the game. We will continue to do updates. We had 3 major updates that had a ton of content, and that content came directly from the fans. We tried to really show everyone that we were in this for the long run and that we were really relying on the fans. And so we tried to put in what they wanted. And we're really pleased with how everything turned out and the level of support that we have. And so we hope to continue that into the Kickstarter, where we'll be raising funds for the 2016 version. And we plan to do both mobile and PC, Mac, Linux, just like we did in the past. The plan will be to release the mobile around the same time we release the PC versions, not have this kind of delayed release like we do now. But yeah, that's the future. Certainly keep an eye on us through Steam or social media. We've got a specific website that we're going to be launching for Axis Football. So keep an eye out for that as well. And again, thanks everyone for the support. This game would not be where it is without you guys. So we will continue to make the game that you want and look forward to Sim Football franchise. Thanks again.
All right, so I appreciate that, Dan, and again, always thank you for your time. Not going to be the last time we have you on, of course. So if you guys have any questions for Danny, you can leave them in the comment section. I'll be glad to respond to them. You can also go over to Twitter and follow him at Axis Football, as well as me, as we talked about earlier, Shutdown Safety. Appreciate you guys checking out this video. I'll be back in the week with more content.